Hello folks, that box just fell down. I'm going to call this one current events, maybe with due respect to Hashem Talawi with all his current events shows, but I want to talk about a bunch of different things. So first on the politics, I'm kind of sick of politics, but I'm going to keep covering it. I think we have a very crooked system in the United States. I may get back to this later. And something's going on this morning with me. This is Saturday, and I decided to change the format a little. When I do one topic, I don't get many views unless I start to talk about the lawnmower. Before the lawnmower, I saw a little chihuahua. They're supposed to put it to sleep today in Manhattan, but it did bite the owner. So a lot of times that's what happens. Those little dogs tend to be excited, neurotic, I don't know. And then I was going to relate it to the political campaign, but I won't. In terms of 3 previous mowers, they were like erector sets. And I'll mention 2 of them I bought at Walmart, and a third one I got mail order. And I'll say negative about it, but then I'll say something positive about Walmart. I thought it was me. The 3 were all crummy. They're like erector sets you put together. I think I paid between 90 and 100 and, well, up to maybe 150. I paid 150 for the mail order one. I might have paid less for the middle, second of the 3 at Walmart. They've only been lasting me 3 years. What happens on this third one is the wires where the so-called safety feature, they're breaking off so that you can't start it. I had one before, I had to hold a wire up by hand. That was ridiculous. But I mean, they make the whole thing to start coming apart. The big problem I had with all 3 was the wheels. Now the first time I thought, well, a couple of nuts and bolts weren't right, and I was thinking, you know how it is, sometimes you think it's you. That's what everybody tells you, it's your fault, the customer. But all 3, they got worse with the wheels. This third one finally, 2 wheels were just cockeyed after a while driving it. And I run out of parts of my own nice nuts and bolts. And I know it's not me because I heard 3 cases of similar, on the radio. People had troubles. One was a bicycle. He said he bought one and he just kept bringing it back 3 times until he got his money. I thought of the wheels on it that he would have to put together, like the wheels on the mower. And then 2 other cases of faulty lawnmowers. And besides, there were other things that would go on them. The little rubber button you push to load it with gas. I started putting gas on my last mower. I started putting gas up, little gas up above where the carburetor is, trying to get it started. I did get it to start that way. That's an old trick. But this last one at Walmart, I did better. It was the mower I had, like, say 4 mowers ago. I've had 6 mowers in the Midwest, and I'm counting at 19 years. And I didn't even mow myself the first year, so that's not very good. You're coming up to 3 years each. Well, not including the lifetime of the current one, but the current one has bigger wheels and it was put together. You just had to put a couple of bolts in where you lock the handles in place. It's a little low using it for me. You can't do much about it. I think I could make adjustments just to make it lower rather than higher in terms of where the handlebars are, but it's not so cheaply made as the previous 3. It really got disgusting. I tried to make the third one last more than 3 years and I really couldn't do it. And finally, when I had the new one, a wheel fell off completely on that one, and the engine's in good shape still. Surprisingly, with they don't like you using the ethanol gas, but you can't get I can get ethanol removed or non-present gas in a place in Iowa. It costs about 50 cents a gallon more, and I can't get it in Missouri anymore, and I understand they're not going to let you get it in Iowa now or in the next year or something either. And the ethanol gas tends to wear out the machines, the gaskets. You certainly can't use E85, but they say they've improved them so your mower won't wear out in 3 years. But that third of the three cheap mowers, and $150 for the third one wasn't cheap. And I paid $120 for this, 120 something for this newest one. So it wasn't even cheap, and I'm very unhappy with a couple of mail order places. I'm not even going to mention their names, but this Walmart redeemed themselves somewhat this time. I had help. My back was sore, and I got the stockman to help me, which was good because he sees how to put it in right away, which I don't. If I get a big box every 3 years, I don't really, and I haven't had a big box like that in this car. It doesn't, you can extend the trunk by putting down seats, but it had to go in the back seat directly. The stockman saw that right away, so that was helpful for me. I would have been fooling around for 45 minutes or something out there, but I still have the very last mower, so I have two mowers, but the wheel is loose. Actually, two wheels are loose. So I have had bad luck with this other company mail order with also the solar panels, and my solar panels failed. They're supposed to last 30 years, and one description said, well, if they last 15 years, da-da-da-da-da, well, they only lasted half of that. And I don't think it was my fault, because everything worked for those number of years. Were there lightning strikes that affected, I can't say. But it seems like they just failed with poor workmanship. If you look behind me, right above my head, there's a string light that's out. That was blue lit, kind of a nice blue in a previous video or two. I had 5 lightning strikes nearby, 3 of them right near the house, and something blew out that set of lights. There were 3 or 4 lights left. It's supposed to have 35 little LED lights, and it was, I don't know, like $10 when I bought it. Most of those failed on me. They were made for the outside. They don't work well on the outside, but that was inside, and lightning hit it, evidently, and there were 3 or 4 little lights blinking, so it failed. I unplugged it. I don't want to have a short. I could use 3 or 4 little blinking lights for something, but not if the whole thing shorts out and is a fire hazard. I don't know if I mentioned I think I mentioned the little dog. So what are the other topics? Making a longer video. He's going to talk about Twitter and YouTube. A little secret, I never use any notes or idiot cards. I guess I'm like Donald Trump. I look around, but I'm just fidgeting. I'm not looking at any. Once or twice out of 1,200 videos, I wrote down 3 or 4 words just to keep my topics in order for some longer videos I did way in the past. But also going to talk about YouTube and Twitter a little bit. YouTube, it says I have over 17,000 views. Big deal. I said I'm kind of in the middle range of YouTube users, but I'm at the bottom of the middle. People get to 100,000 videos without doing 100,000 views without doing very much relative to what I did. I don't spend money on YouTube or Twitter to promote myself. I know that's a big deal now. They've kind of shifted things over the last couple of years where you pay to promote a lot more. I just don't do that. I don't see myself doing in the future. Who knows? But that's kind of disappointing on these videos, and I don't know if I have 2 or 3 people still watching this after 10 minutes. Some people will jump ahead like I do. On the Twitter topic, I wanted to get to even numbers with 13s, for instance, from 12.9k tweets up to 13k. I mean, I have had I deleted hundreds of tweets in the past, so that it does not count it, or at least 3 years ago when you deleted 100 tweets, it didn't count them anymore. Maybe it does now. The last I checked, it didn't. But I wanted to get to that even number. I tweeted some people I knew. The amount of, when I get reaction or people replies, the amount I get is pretty small. I try to reply to most people that tweet me. A fellow from a foreign country said, "Here, H-A-I-R, how are you?" And R spelled just R, not A-R-E. And I didn't know how to respond. I thought my hair isn't too bad looking. It's my own hair, it's not fake hair. And it looks disheveled. I did use the axe a little this morning. And some other stuff outside. It's pretty cool out right now. So I didn't respond to him. I found out if you respond to a wisecracker, they can come back and curse the heck out of you. And then I found one of these, when I did a search of social media, what do I see is a couple things on me. And one of them is this jerk cursing me out for no reason, no good reason. So if I get a wisecrack, I'm not even going to respond to it, because they know that and they do that so they can besmirch your whole system. So if I think it's a wisecrack and not in good fun, I won't respond. I've been responding to 3/4 of people. And then I don't have too many running conversations. I mean, you just can't with all the followers I have. I don't have enough time in the day. So there's some comments on Twitter. I could keep talking about it. I don't know about this war. Folks, when you look ahead, and I might start this in on another video because people aren't watching this anymore right now, but when you look ahead, you're like a ship on the ocean, and there's a ship, say, a mile away. You can see it. You're headed towards it. Now you can judge in a little while. You're going to be close to that other ship. See, you're looking a little more than most people. You're up a little higher, figuratively, you can see a little more. But once you get halfway there, winds and ship directions might have changed, and then you can tell better. I don't see any assassinations, thank goodness, in the next couple of months, at least with the high-level folks. I'll take a look again at that time. This media is totally disgusting. Most of the alternative media is fixed. Most of the alternative media, I don't like to listen to stuff anymore. I'm watching one show now, or listening to one show on the internet on a regular basis, and I don't even listen to all of that. I might listen to half of a show each evening. Most of these guys are giving false information. They give a lot of truth and then they suck you in with some false stuff, and they do that on purpose. So I'm just habitually listening a little bit anymore to RBN. When their disgusting commercials come on, I shut it right off. The fellow was complaining 2/3 of the money for advertising went to the salesman and not to him. And he even said in the past he was putting up commercial for free. This one disgusting commercial about bodily functions, I shut the thing right off. Most of the time I don't even go back to the show I'm listening to. I mean, why bother? I'd like to tell him that, but he's so much smarter than I am, he'd be quite angry about it. One of my polls on Twitter, the winner of the poll was the disgusting commercials are the worst part about the radio shows, talk radio shows, which surprised me a little bit. but not a big surprise. I'm past 15 minutes. I've been kind of going on about some stuff. I might redo about looking ahead. Things have changed. I sense them. Sometimes things get better, things get worse. I think things have gotten a little better lately. We have a little more time until the next big war and such, but I'll have to reevaluate that in the next couple of months, because I still don't think the next 6 months or so, 6 or 8 months, look very good for us in general. Be careful out there, folks.